Okay, we're going to switch to manual mode and talk about the categories of money in the money supply. And we need to know categories of money if we're going to measure it and try to manage it and use it as we're working through inflation and recessions and so forth. And we called in creative, I'm sure the government called in really creative marketing people to come up with these categories, but the first category of money is going to be called M1. Okay? M1. And M1 consists of currency and checkable deposits, in banks, savings and loans, credit unions, and so forth. It is the most liquid category. M1 includes all bills, notes, coins, and the money that's in your checking account, debit accounts, and so forth. All right. What is not in money is credit. Credit cards are not a part of the money supply. So keeping that in mind. M2, which is the next category, is calculated with M1 plus basically savings and time deposits. And it gets a little bit less liquid as we add in those. Then M3, this would also include money market accounts, anything that really classifies as savings. M3 is the entire money supply and would include M2 plus jumbo CDs. Jumbo CDs are CDs over $100,000, mostly held by financial institutions and large corporations. So we can see money in different categories. Questions. The money that you have in your wallet right now, is it in M2? Yes, it is. It is cumulative. As we go through these steps, M2 includes all of M1 plus savings and so forth. The money that's in the change that's in the ashtray of your car right now is in all three. So M3 includes the entire money supply. Now jumping back to something we studied about the multiplier and the marginal propensity to save and the marginal propensity to consume and so forth, you can probably recognize here that as we know how much money is in each of these categories, M1, M2, and M3, we can get some idea of how people are choosing to hold money. Okay? Savings versus keeping it very liquid and spendable. So we can see some, to go along with consumption, we can see some idea of how people are choosing to hold their money. Okay? Questions on that? Okay. Now let's talk about the money supply that we have and what backs the money supply. And surprisingly, it's very little. We used to have in this country, and several countries have had, what's called commodity money. And commodity money actually has some intrinsic worth for what it is. It's either silver or gold or some precious metal, and it actually has some value other than money. What we have now is not commodity money. It is basically fiat money. Important term, fiat. We have fiat money that is basically legal tender, that the government says this is legal tender, usable for all debts, public and private. And you and I also agree that money is acceptable. You will accept it for debts, I will accept it for debts or payments or whatever, and we will use it for exchange. There is not gold or silver backing the current money supply. I have with me here, and I'll show you some money from previous years. This is a silver dollar, and you can hear the difference in our money that we have now. Here's a silver quarter. This is actually commodity money that was in circulation. The smaller coins came out of circulation in 1964. They're made of silver. So that $1 silver dollar right there, if it was melted down at today's prices, is somewhere around $15 worth of silver. Today's current money, the copper nickel clad quarters that you have in your pocket now, or dimes or nickels or whatever, they do not have a commodity money backing or a commodity money value. Also here I have a silver certificate, basically a $1 bill that reads along the bottom, $1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. Just an example of paper money that would have been backed by a precious metal. Okay. But today we have what is called fiat money. It's basically managed by the government, kept stable by the government and its policies, and you and I agree its acceptability. And you and I will agree that a $50 bill will buy about $50 worth of stuff, and that's our reference point. Okay?